and gentlemen, everybody, good evening, good morning. Welcome to yet another edition of our ONPASSIVE Weekly Chat with Engineer Mike OJONGTAMBIA. Today is session number 92, oh, no, 93, sorry. I'm taking it back. So, session number 93. And we have a very great topic. The topic will be how is ONPASSIVE different? Again, today is session number 93, and our topic for tonight is how is ONPASSIVE different? So, we have a very special guest with us tonight. I will, or I don't have the power to introduce him. I will let that with our able moderator for tonight, and she will do the introduction. So, with me on the panel, as panelists, I have our sister Queen, Sister Debbie McCormick from the United States of America. I have Engineer Bridget Kamsi from the United States of America. I have our sister Listra Tuak from Toronto, Canada. I have Dr. Benny Blessing Tinglet from Chebiches, Maryland, USA. I have our sister Queen Jennifer Dickinson from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, like myself. I have our Queen sister Ivy Mix from Denver, Colorado. And I will stop there and hand it over for our moderator for tonight, who is no other than our Queen sister, Mama Debbie McCormick. Mama Debbie, over to you. Introduce our guest and you roll. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Mike. We welcome our panelists personally and our viewers live and those who will be watching later. And most importantly, we welcome our brother, our special guest for the day, one and only. I call him Brother Charles. A lot of people call him Papa Africa, and we call him several names. He is the eyes and the one and only person who has been running around right from the beginning to bring ONPASSIVE to the African continent and the diaspora. He made sure that we all knew what it was, not just by being there to tell us what was right to do and the right time, but how to do it. Not only in the continent, but that's why I added diaspora. So welcome Brother Charles, Papa Africa, to Engineer Mike OJONGTAMBIA Live. This is the one of the ONPASSIVE, I'll call it radio and television channels that we have. And today we're airing session number 93 as he rightfully introduced. And we are so honored to have you. The topic today, which is how is ONPASSIVE different? I don't have that knowledge from your lips, but I see that from my personal perspective, you are so versatile in a lot of things. For me, I see if I were to compare that, I'm looking into my family, no one is the same. I have children, they're not the same. People who don't have children and have siblings, you are not the same as your sibling. If you do not even have a sibling, you have friends, you have peers, you have colleagues, you have nothing similar. So, as you have those similarities, now compare that to how is ONPASSIVE different. We're going to let the right person who will dissect it for us and make sure he delivers it the right way. He has been preaching to everyone who has no knowledge of what artificial intelligence is, who cannot even read and write, and just based on the fact that it's going to change your life forever. For the last 5 years, let's welcome our one and only brother, father, uncle, Papa Africa, Brother Charles. Awesome. The microphone is yours, bro. We welcome you.
Thank you, Sister Debbie. Thank you to all the panelists. Great people. Always happy to be with my ONPASSIVE family. I love you guys to death, to pieces, as some people would say. And always an honor, pleasure to talk about ONPASSIVE because I live, breathe, eat, sleep, peace, drink, hit ONPASSIVE. Okay? So that's all I do, nothing else. All right. Uh, Glad to be with you. I don't know if you want me to kick off now or you're going to ask questions. I don't know what you want me to do, but I'm ready for whatever it is that you want.
Thank you, Brother Charles. If you can just share to our viewers your opinion about how ONPASSIVE is different.
Okay,
That's the
so
topic for the day.
that topic is a great one, by the way, but it's also very broad because I can talk about that for 3 hours, trust me. But I'm going to try to be as brief as I can be because I know we don't have all day, we don't have 3 hours. I've always been looking for an opportunity to make money passively all my life in the United States. Okay. And so when I came, I went to school, did so many different things. I ended up being an IT professional, but at the same time, I knew that I had to stop trading hours for dollars. I knew that I need to find a way to make money while I sleep, right? That's what all rich people do. So I had been looking in search for ONPASSIVE for a very long time. But at some point I gave up. So 2 years before I met ONPASSIVE, which was I met ONPASSIVE early 2019, but I stopped doing anything else 2 years prior to that. Only because most of these different businesses that you go out there, you have to work so hard. You have to try to bring people in to make money. You have to bring customers to make money. When you bring them, they don't make money, they drop, they give up. You got to keep looking for new ones, right? So I said, well, I cannot duplicate myself, so I'm going to stop doing it. And I just started investing in cryptocurrencies and all the different things until somebody brought ONPASSIVE to me. And I always have three questions just to ask to make sure that it's not one of those things, right? Do I have to recruit to make money? Do I have to bring somebody to make money? Okay. Do I have to pay a monthly ownership? Does the company have legitimate, viable products? So once those three questions look good to me, I was like, wait a minute, this is different here. Okay. Now, that's how ONPASSIVE is different, right? Number one, you don't have to recruit to make money, right? We have AI, artificial intelligence powered systems, traffic that's going to recruit on your behalf. Now, don't get us wrong. There's no company on earth that can survive without customers. It's not possible. Every business is about customers. That is why these companies will tell you go out, get people, get customers, get affiliates who can get customers, right? That's what they'll tell you because they just don't know how to do it on their own. Now comes our CEO, who's a genius in traffic, getting customers, and he says, guess what? I'm sick and tired of getting to these businesses where only 2% of the people make money. I'm going to make sure everybody makes money. As long as you are in it, you are going to make money, right? You're going to succeed. You're going to win it. Why? Because he's going to get the customers for all of us. So as an individual, I don't need to go out and get customers, right? I don't need to go out and get customers. The company will do it using AI. The world has changed. Artificial intelligence, if you guys don't know it, is changing the world big time. Okay? And we are at the forefront of it. Now, I know a lot of people here, AI can be bad. Yes, it can be bad. Okay? Just like every technology, you're going to have bad guys who want to take advantage, right? But our CEO is somebody with heart. So we call it AI with heart. So the first time I listened to him, I was touched. That's the day I knew this is where I want to be. And this has been 4.5 years now since I listened to him the first time. And ever since then, I'm taking it and I'm running with it. Okay? Like Sister Debbie said, I have all kinds of names. One of the names that I gave myself initially was Man on a Mission. And what's my mission? My mission was simple. Tell everybody who has ears to listen about a company that is different from any other company that you've heard. A company that is the correction to the corruption. And when we say the correction to the corruption, what are we talking about? Most of all these other companies out there, like I said, 2%, 3%, some say 3%, I say 2% of the people really make money. The remainder of them are struggling for those people to make money. That's corruption. They go out there, they use our data, they use all our information to make money. In the meantime, we are struggling. That is corruption, right? And we're going to make sure all that changes. ONPASSIVE is going to make sure that they don't use your data without your permission, without your consent. ONPASSIVE is going to make sure that what belongs to you comes to you. ONPASSIVE, I always tell people, is the first time ever that we are having a business of the people, for the people, and by the people. So it's the first time ever that we are having democracy in business. And when you have a business that is for the people, guess what happens? Power goes to the people. Okay, so it's a paradigm shift. Because when power goes to the people, everything changes. The whole game changes. The dynamics changes. Okay, so we are going to witness something that has never been witnessed before in this world of today. Why? Because our CEO's goal is to eradicate, if possible, but as much as possible, to eliminate or reduce the gap between the poor and the rich. So eradicate poverty, or at least reduce that gap between the poor and the rich. And all of us in ONPASSIVE, you and I, and those who are going to be coming later, that's our mission. We're going to make sure that the world changes. We're going to make sure people don't have to live in poverty. And we have, yes, it is true that our cornerstone product is OConnect. What is OConnect? It's a video conferencing platform that has never been seen before. It's disruptive, okay? That's our cornerstone product, okay? But we have something called OBless. OBless is what defines ONPASSIVE. That is coming later. It defines us, who we are, people with heart. And we embrace everybody to come into ONPASSIVE and experience it. Once, you see, that's it. I always tell people, you can be in ONPASSIVE, but ONPASSIVE has to be in you, right? ONPASSIVE is in some of us. And once ONPASSIVE is in you, you are transformed. You become a different beast because you see what the regular person does not see. Again, in a nutshell, I say ONPASSIVE is a business like never been seen before. It's a business that's going to revolutionize the way people do business, the way people think, the way people act, the way people behave, okay? And it's a business that is going to eliminate poverty. And why? Because we are going to lean on the shoulders of those who know what to do and do it for us. That's why the name ONPASSIVE, okay? Because we're going to piggyback off of what those specialists know how to do so well and have the heart to share with us. They're going to do for everybody. So if you're out there listening to what I'm saying and you're not part of this movement, you're not part of this revolution, you are still on the fence, I implore you to jump over that fence because you don't want to be too late. The train is about to take off. So come join us. Let's make the world a better place. Back to you, Sister Debbie. That's all I got to say.
Wow. Thank you so much, Brother Charles. Thank you so much. Let me ask you. I know that our viewers are also raising some questions, and you talked about the possibility. This one name that you mentioned. Let me go back and start from the beginning. The one name you mentioned, Man on a Mission. How has Man on a Mission evolved from 2019 to present? Because as ONPASSIVE is different, and Man on the Mission started in 2019. How have you transitioned from that period to present, as ONPASSIVE has been also evolving? That's one. And number two is, and I'll just stop there and wait for you, Brother Charles, please.
Okay, great question, Sister Debbie. So 2019, when I listened to Ash the very first time, when I listened to him speak, what I gathered was that there was no need for us to bring people into the business. Why? Because AI is going to do it for us. They're going to have traffic. They'll do it for us. He was sick and tired of people talking to friends and families, and they shun them. And now you're talking to them. They don't want to pick up your phone call. He was sick and tired of all of that. So he was trying to get this new thing where we don't need to talk to anybody. But when I saw the opportunity, and I said, for the first time, I know human beings in general don't like to talk to others, right, about opportunities because they don't like to be rejected. That's why. But I also know that Africans in particular, they are worse in that respect. And so I said, okay, this is the opportunity that they don't have to talk to anybody. So why don't you go and bring them in? So I was planning to do private webinars. Since the CEO was not very, very adamant about it, I was just going to do it private. I was waiting for my own time to do it. Not so. I was waiting for my own time. Like, okay, I know it's going to take forever. I know it's going to take 5 years, maybe 6 years. I thought so because I know what it takes. So I wanted to start doing it when it's closer to the time. And in 2020, March of 2020, that's when I got this revelation from my grandfather who had passed a long time ago and said, you got to do it now. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it, but it's not yet time. And he was like, no, you got to do it now. You see? So that is why I came back and I said, okay, I have a mission. And my mission is to talk to anybody who has ears to listen to get into the business. That's all. And so I started a private Zoom webinar, right? And Ash did not know about that webinar for almost a year, to tell you the truth. It was just private, right? I remember the first webinar had about 120 people, and then it just started increasing and increasing and increasing, okay? And yes, I've evolved because at that time, I was not really patient, okay? I was very quick. Dr. Benny can tell you that. I was very quick in telling people, don't join. They ask me questions that I feel is stupid. I said, don't join. Why are you wasting my time? Okay? But guess what, though? I grew up now. I'm so more patient. I'm more patient than I used to be. I'm more tolerant. And it's because I also pray. I pray to God. I believe in God. I pray for patience. I pray for wisdom. I pray for humility. I pray for so many different things every day. Not one day goes by without me praying for those things. And I can see the result. Prayers do work. If somebody says prayers don't work, they're lying to you. They do work. So I've changed a lot.
Wow, that is an outstanding response, Brother Charles, because those prayers absolutely do work. And yes, you are still a man on the mission. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I attended one of your early webinars and raised a question, and you told me, my friend, ask me another question and not that one. And This weekend is a weekend that I spent a couple of days in a convention, and from Thursday until last night, and everyone was praying for everybody and for the rest of the world. And there is a lot of democracy, and prayers help us. So I don't know. Before I pass it to anyone else who would like to raise questions or look at questions from the chat, you said something about bridging the gap between the haves and the have-nots, which is the mission of ONPASSIVE. And how do you think that would be different from your background of being in the crypto and switching from that with your background in artificial intelligence into ONPASSIVE now at the stage in which we are? How are you? I mean, you're no longer educating those naive individuals that did not buy into the program at the time, but for the 1.4 million that we have now, what would you tell them to, to continue to do that will help eliminate or to minimize or bridge the gap between the rich, the haves and the have-nots? I wouldn't say rich because people riches does not really say it. I would say the haves and the have-nots. Brother Charles, did you get my question?
Yes, I did. I think I did.
Thank you.
So
I just wanted to make sure if you didn't get it, I will verify.
okay. So the truth is we are on Pacifius, right? And we have Obless. And our Obless, Ash, our CEO, has made it very clear. It's not just to hand out. That's not why we have Obless. No. We give you fish, no problem with that. But more importantly, we're going to teach you how to fish. Right? So when you teach people how to fish, you don't have to be there always to give them the fish. They're going to fend for themselves. And that's what we need to be doing. Okay? And I always tell my people from third world countries, those of you who are from developed countries, they're very blessed. There are certain things you take for granted that back, for example, in Africa, where I come from, it's luxury, right? The internet service, for example, just being online, we take it for granted here. But back there, it is a problem. I remember, just talking to a few leaders the other time, including Ash, like, it is true that AI is gonna get customers for all of us, right? You have somebody in the United States, for example, in Canada, in UK, and so on. They have internet access. AI can get to them. So when we 1.4 million founders, we launch to the world, AI is gonna get to all these people in these first world countries. We're gonna send traffic to them because you have to be online, right, for AI to get to you. What about those people who don't have data? Those people who cannot connect online? How is AI going to get to them? That's the problem. You see? So that's why I'm saying that all of us, we need to roll up our sleeves. We need to go to work. We need to do our possible best. So man on a mission, I was on a mission. The first mission was to get as many founders as possible, as many people as possible to join ONPASSIVE as founders. That has ended. No more founders, right? That's okay. I think we did well. Now, the next mission is for all of us as founders to get as many people in as resellers. Because why? Those resellers, if you get one person in as a reseller, you've just changed a family and possibly a clan. See? So we should make it our mission to change many, many families, right? I feel better now because guess what? I am no longer alone, right? When I started, I felt like I was alone. I had to get this into so many people. But you know what? Something? I feel so satisfied because I feel like I've duplicated myself enough. There are so many leaders out there today. You, for example, Sister Debbie, okay, Engineer Mike, Dr. Ben, all of you, most of you here, and all over the place, right? So I've duplicated myself. Even though I'm not going to sit back and relax and say I'm done, right? I'm going to continue and hopefully get more people to do what we are doing. And that is the best way to reduce that gap, to bring in as many people as possible, and let's have a ripple effect. Let it go viral. That's the best way. That's the way I see it. Okay?
Wow. Coming from you, I applaud you for that, my big brother. I applaud you. I applaud you, our uncle, our Papa Africa, and our number one man on a mission. Thank you so much. At this stage, I'm going to switch over to our panelists, starting with Queen Jennifer. Sister Jen, if you have a question for Brother Charles, please, you can unmute yourself and proceed.
Hi, Charles. I guess my question would be, I'm really, I work with a lot of charities, and just very excited for OBLESS to come out. But it's just something you said about teaching them to fish. So I just was wondering how, with OBLESS, how we would, I guess, have charities. Would it be a good idea to like have the charities get a, oh, sorry, I'm just having a total brain meltdown here. Get the charities to become distributors as well. Is that possible?
Why not? That's a great idea, as a matter of fact, right? So you get a charity in, or you give them, I don't say some apples, of course, right? But you can enroll them as affiliate. You say, hey,
yeah,
who's the leader of this organization? Let's have a chat, right? We are going to bring you in the company or the charity organization as an affiliate, right? And then as an affiliate, because you're a charity, you can tell people, hey, you know what? You don't need to just give us, right? Just enroll underneath us and enjoy these great products. We have OME that is free. We have OTRIM is free. We have all these things that are free. If you ever do video conferencing, we have the greatest one. Just come into our ecosystem and see what we have that you can benefit from. And once you benefit from those, we are also going to benefit. So you don't ever have to hand that to us anymore. Just become part of the ecosystem, enjoy it, and we are fine. And I believe if I have a charity contact me and tell me something like that, I will jump at it. You understand?
Yeah.
And a lot of companies, people are going to do that.
Yeah, because
that's a great idea.
I was thinking about that because just so you're not constantly fundraising all the time, if there was some way to basically monetize that, and then they can have their own source of income coming in all the time, so they don't have to worry so much about finding donors all the time.
I'm telling you, you just gave me a great idea. Okay. So that's wonderful. Yes.
Well, thank you for answering that.
No problem.
Thank you, Queen Jennifer. Thank you, Brother Charles. At this stage, I know everyone probably is dying to talk to you, even people from the chat. If they had a way, they'll hop on and talk to you. But I'm going to call our next panelist. If you have a question, Sister Listra. Yes, I know you've been anxiously waiting to see Papa Africa, the man on the mission. Over to you, sis.
Okay, I don't really have a question. I never have questions, and I don't know why. I never do. But anyway, I know, right? I know that ONPASSIVE is different from every other company out there because of what Mr. Ash has done. I know that the products that were developed for this company is going to be great out there. every business out there is gonna want to be using it. It's gonna change life. It's gonna change so much out there. I mean, when you think about how everything is out there right now, and as Charles said, the correction to the corruption, right? We know that everything is clean, pure, ethical. All that is going to change the way things are being done out there. So that's why we're different. And there's so much more that I could go on and on. But I don't want to take up too much time. I will think when I listen to more, Charles, if I have a question for you, I will return to you. In the meantime, I will pause for now so you can call somebody else. Okay.
Thank you very much. I love that. So I don't get to answer anything, right? I'm gonna
I mean it. I never have questions, and sometimes I feel everybody's going to think that I know everything, but I don't. I just never have questions because I go reading and I thought, I know that. I don't always know it. I just think I do.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Sister Lystra. Thank you, Brother Charles. Do you think you're going to run away from this by not answering questions? You know, when
not with people like you.
when everyone sees your name somewhere, they know that you have answers to questions that happened even before we were born, right? Somehow they just come up with that. But we have some wonderful people on this panel with us tonight. And where they have questions or not, they always come up with some beautiful things to say. And one of them is Queen Engineer Bridget. Sis, the microphone is yours.
Well. Thank you, Queen Sister Debbie, for giving me this opportunity. I'm so excited to have our brother Charles here on this panel with us today. It's such a pleasure to have you. Well, we've come a long way, haven't we? I have a question for you, though. Like you rightly say, through prayers, or with the help of prayers, you have evolved. And I think that is so true, because I remember how it was in those days in 2020, during all those webinars that we had. So I have one little question for you. Could you please express your feelings at the moment in words, considering that everything that you were anticipating has finally come to fruition?
Wow, that's a great one, Bridget. I could not anticipate you asking me a question like that, but hey, I think lately a lot of people tell me you look relaxed, that you look younger, okay, that you look like this, you don't have any worries. And that's why, because you know how so many people have shunned me. So if you're out there and you talk to your friends, you talk to your family members, and they don't listen to you, and they're like, wait a minute, you're crazy. Don't think you're alone, okay? I have very close family members that think I'm insane. I have very close friends. As a matter of fact, one of them really got me upset about, I think, 5 weeks ago. That's somebody I consider a very close friend. And he told me that I cannot believe somebody as intelligent as you, some Indian guy is messing up your brains and you're just following him like a sheep. And he's making money and he's not able to give you even crumbs. When are you going to realize that this ONPASSIVE thing is fake? I cannot tell you how upset I was. So, you know, now that things have finally come to fruition, I always say he who laughs last laughs best, right? So I cannot wait for them to come after me, because like I always said, you're gonna be the hunted, not the hunter, right? So I cannot wait to be that hunted, because I think my life is gonna be very, very long. You see what I mean? So I feel very satisfied. I feel vindicated. Okay. I had no doubt from day one. Trust me. From day one, I have never had an ounce of doubt in the project. I knew from day one that it was going to take some time. As a matter of fact, to me, it's coming sooner than I thought, which is a plus. Okay. So I'm just happy. I'm just glad that, especially for those doubters, especially for those founders who did not really believe, I can't even begin to tell you how many founders I've taken under my wings, and I have to talk to them constantly to try to make them see it. You won't even believe it. But I am so glad they have now seen it. They are now thanking me, like, thank you for just being there, for just pulling us along. And I'm very, very happy. I think, you know what they say, mission accomplished. The first part of the mission accomplished, and getting ready for the bigger part, because this is the bigger part coming on. Getting people in as resellers or affiliates.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just the beginning.
I thought you were going to be easy on me,
Yes,
Bridget. I thought we were friends, right? You just gave me a difficult question. I thought we were friends. Okay.
Thank you for that. I knew you were going to answer it correctly, so you did. So,
okay.
All right. Thank you, Engineer Bridget. I wasn't expecting that, but guess what? You did it, and you did it very well. He who laughs best, as our brother said, laughs. He who laughs last laughs best. And Brother Charles, you know, there's so many doubting Thomases out there, right? Yes, your friends might be calling you those names. The other thing they do not know is there's so many mentally deranged people out there. And when they're saying that, they don't even know what's going on until they actually see the end result. Why? Because their mindset is always expecting things to go a certain way, and when it doesn't, they have to find a reason to blame where something is not supposed to be. And depending on who those individuals are, if you're from a global south, the way they call them now, global south is the politically correct name for what used to be developing countries or third world countries. It's now called global south, for those who may not understand. If you're from that part of the world, you will not believe in anything that is called crypto or anything that is called artificial intelligence, because it is mostly in developed countries that have access to uninterrupted electricity, uninterrupted internet provision or access to internet and all of that, and data uninterrupted, non-stop. Then you can easily do it. But we have a lot of people who have those challenges. So artificial intelligence, depending on your location and depending on your means, the ways and means, only a few people have access to it. And you have helped bridge that gap. We're hoping when it's time for resellers, you will do the same by finding means to get those people that you were able to touch their hearts to continue to do the same by getting resellers in. So just be on the lookout, because that time will come, and we hope that you'll have the energy to do what you started, to finish this journey without leaving those individuals behind. Thank you, Brother Charles. So at this stage, I'm going to call on our other sisters who have not yet spoken, our panelist brother, Queen Sister Ivy Mix, the voice for the voiceless.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Good evening, Brother Charles. I think today is the first day I'm speaking to you officially for so many years. I had found your video, the one you were wearing the Wkly high. I'm sure those were the days before the dreads. But you had those hard Wkly high, I remember. The woolen cap.
Okay.
I remember it.
Right.
That's,
You're so correct. You're correct.
That's it. You had it those days. And those days, your background was the bridge, if you remember. The Zoom or whatever background was the bridge.
Yeah, it's a Bay Bridge.
That's it. So I just want to say thank you. I'm sure so many people evolved from that, like you said. You know, I've never, like I said, who would not know Charles? We know, we ask, you know, but today is the day. Today that we've met, and I'm so happy to be here with you, and I'm happy and proud. I'm very proud, you know, African, to know that you've spearheaded what we need. I am more than, I can say, a philanthropist. When I say I'm more than a philanthropist, we've been looking, all of us. We've been looking after people. We've taken our sisters to school, our cousins, you know. So I don't want us to separate what is going to be coming to us and from what we're already doing. You see, most of us have looked after aunties, cousins, grandmas, our children. Are you getting me? Our husbands. So we've been doing that, like he said. We've been doing that giving. We've been in that space, and we all know that if you don't take time, you create dependency, and we're not going to create dependency. That is not what we're going to be doing in ONPASSIVE. So, like Lystra said, it's not like I don't have a question. I have a question, but it's coming out of what we are all already doing. We're all giving. Now, the question I would ask, and it's coming from the fact that wealth creates a space for leading. Anybody who has more than the other, you are the top. So at the top means you're a leader. I'm a preacher, by the way, so I'm happy that you're talking about praying. Now, I specialize in my field of divinity. I specialize in the marketplace and creating leaders. And we know Moses, we know Solomon, we know all the people in the Bible. Brother Charles, how are we going to create leaders to manage themselves, to be able to lead this great mission? Some people have not been able to even manage an office space. Now they are going to be put in a position where they have so much. So how, like you said, teach the fish to fish? Or now, how are you going to teach the leader, somebody with so much? How are you going to teach the person to manage, or how to, are you seeing what I'm saying? How are you going to teach? How are you going to teach that person? And now you are Jeff Bezos. How are you going to teach him to be a leader in this ONPASSIVE? Because remember, Michael Williams told us that ONPASSIVE is going to create more of these M's than any company in the world. At times I think about that. That's my it's a question and a tie, something that my mind is been going around and around. So if you could help me.
Oh, that's a great question, Mr. Ivy. glad to be talking to you for the first time, and hopefully we're gonna meet someday physically. You know, that question that you just asked, I've thought about it many times, right? And one thing I always say is, I am glad that ONPASSIVE has taken this long. You know
I
why?
agree.
Because it has given us time. When God gives you time, He uses that time to prepare you for what is coming. I can assure you that had ONPASSIVE launched 2 years ago, personally, I would not have been ready for what's coming. And I know that's not only me, it applies to a lot of us. So there has been a mindset change, there has been training, there has been preparation as how to use that money. Now I'm so relaxed, I'm no longer at the point where I can just see money and go crazy. Okay? So, and most of us as founders, those of us who are going to have the big M, like you say, most of us have been prepared. My concern, though, is those people that are going to come in as affiliates and run with it. Because you know why? I used to be in MLMs. I used to. Like I said, 2 years before ONPASSIVE, I stopped doing MLMs because I could not duplicate myself. And most of those people in MLMs, they have one mindset. They want money. They don't see money, forget it. And that's why they were not with us all this while. Okay? They're going to come in once they start seeing money. And usually when they come in with their crew. They have a following. Okay? So they bring that following, and all of a sudden, they start making serious money, and they start flashing the money. They have not been through the mindset change that we've been through. And that is my biggest concern. For the founders, I am not worried. You see that? So we need to figure out how to manage those people. That's the problem.
Okay.
And I see with you, I agree with you. Hopefully, they're going to come in. We're going to find a way to get them initiated, to get them start thinking the way we're thinking, to get them to understand our culture. Right?
Yes.
Our culture is not that culture where you go and flash a Ferrari or a Lamborghini and say, oh, come and join us and make money. No. I shall say many times, I would love to see you maybe standing in a hospital and you say, oh, thanks to ONPASSIVE, I'm able to supply all the equipment for this hospital. That's our culture. You see? And slowly but surely, as a team, we're going to try to get them to incorporate. Because when they come in and they see that, okay, some of us have been around longer, we are making more money than them, yet we are not showing off. And they're going to start feeling a type, wait a minute. These people are not showing off. Why am I showing off? So eventually we'll get them to conform, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Could I just add something to that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it okay if I just add something when I was just thinking about something when Charles was talking about that? And I think a lot of the times why they're so flashy is because they have to be flashy to get other people to come join. So they pretend they have more than they do, or they exaggerate their teams, they exaggerate how much money they have, and they buy things just to show off so that people will be like, oh, look how much money they have, or look how much they have, so I'm joining. So, and with ONPASSIVE, we're not going to have to do that because it's, a company with heart, it's an honest company, and we don't have to be deceitful to get ahead. So that's just all I wanted to add to that. I was just thinking about that when he was talking about that.
You're very accurate.
Yeah.
You're very accurate. I know that. And the thing is, we are hoping that not long after they join us, they're going to find out that they don't need to do that. Because those MLMers, they're used to that notion.
Yeah.
That's how they attract people. So it's very difficult to untrain them for that kind of mentality. Okay?
Yeah.
So my prayers, I'm hoping that we're going to find a way. They're going to come in and say that, oh, wait a minute, this thing sells itself. Right?
Yeah.
We don't need to fake it till we make it, like they always say in that industry, fake it till you make it, right? We don't need to do that here. We just have to be ourselves. We have to be truthful because we're delivering value, total value. Look at what we have with O Connect. Just for this 90 days, you're paying $125 and you have 10,000 participants. Are you kidding me? That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
It's value.
I think their mentality will change pretty quick once they come in and meet it, get to know everybody and see what the culture is.
Yeah.
We hope that they will learn to be givers instead of takers. That's, guess we just all have to pray for them that they come in and learn.
No question about that.
All right. Thank you so much for chiming in, Sister Jennifer. Queen Ivy, thank you as well for your question. Now, Papa Africa, you know now that you have so many followers who have never met you. And one of them is Queen Ivy, who is meeting you for the first time here. So please, we don't want you to go mad. We need you to be here for us, because when the resellers come, we need the cool mind that you have been praying for, and you have it for the last couple of years. We want you to continue to be able to guide the resellers who will have a different mindset when they do join us at that time. So be there, continue to ask for your grandfather's blessings and your father's blessings and all the ancestors' blessings, so you can be there for us. All right, bro. Thank you so much. Wow, wonderful questions. And most of all, I want to thank Engineer Mike for giving everyone the opportunity to meet you, because without him, we would not be talking to you today, right? So I have this one special person that will come up with a very unique start. Queen Sister Dr. Benny, we haven't heard from you. Please, it's your turn if you have a question for Papa Africa.
Oh, I'm scared of Dr. Benny. Dr. Benny, I'm scared of you.
Okay.
Be easy on me, okay?
Greetings. I will say remarkable presentation, Papa Africa, Mr. Charles Osong, my brother, my king. Welcome. Good evening to my brothers and sisters, my queens and kings all over the globe. Before I ask you a question, it's just going to be an easy question. Before I ask this question, you guys know what I want to say, right? I know you talk about God. The difference between this company and any other company is that God, our Heavenly Father, owns this company. He does. He owns the company, but he gave it to, he appointed someone, or should I say assigned someone, and the person accepted, our visionary. But before I proceed, I would really want to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing you, all of us, this evening. A lot of people have died. They did. And the air that you and I were breathing at the moment, we have to really thank him, because at any time we can leave the world. Our CEO always talk about the force is talking to him. The force told him to do this work. He accepted the calling. I want to thank God for everything. And I want to thank our CEO for accepting the callings. And Papa Africa, I want to really, really thank you. You pushed me. Well, you encouraged me. You taught me a lot of things. If you now you see how I'm talking now, I'm not, well, I used to be shy, but it's because of you. I want to thank you. You know, if somebody do something good, we have to appreciate. You came and introduced ONPASSIVE to everyone, even though there were some people laughing, and I still have, there's one doctor who keep laughing at you. Well, he laughs at me too. But I'm praying for us, for everything to work through. As soon as I pay my school loan, I will show that nonsense doctor. Anyway, now the question is, how will the third world or developing countries benefit from all bless? That's question number one.
You want to know something?
Yes, Papa.
Somehow I believe that ONPASSIVE is really made for third world countries. Do you want me to explain that?
Papa, please.
So think about it. Think about it. I don't want to say too much, but just imagine a reseller coming to ONPASSIVE, and after 1 year or 2 years is able to make not much, just $500 every month. $500. If that reseller is in a third world country like Nigeria, Cameroon, Ethiopia, all those African countries, even India, to tell you the truth, they have their GDP is low. So $500 a month in those countries compared to $500 a month in the US, in Canada, in UK is night and day. Night and day. With that kind of money in Africa, you can live the top 1%, life of the top 1%, those people earning the highest, right? Now, with all bless, talking about all bless, to tell you the truth, right here in the US where we live, Chris Johnson will tell you, there are so many homeless people in Michigan, right? There are so many homeless people all over the place. Okay? So we can have all bless, we can have programs in all bless to help people in first world countries. Now, in third world countries, the same amount of money that you could use to house, to feed, to create hospitals, to create educational institutions in a first world country like in the US, you can reduce that money 5 times. You can use that same money and do 5 times what you do in the US in third world countries. So you see, we stand to benefit more. That's why I'm telling you that all blessed in third world countries is going to be huge, because you don't need that much. You don't need as much as you need in first world countries to create or have an impact in those third world countries. And that to me is big. We need to take advantage of that. Cool?
Thank you.
All right.
The second question is this. I noticed that a lot of brand, or should I say brand ambassadors or affiliates, some of them left. And they left because they were impatient. And I noticed that some of them are still living, despite the fact that our CEO introduced us with the amount of money that we'll be paying. So is there any way, what can you tell people who are planning to leave now because they are still waiting or they are not happy? What can you tell them? Or should I say tell the world, or this 1.4 million, for them to at least relax? What can you say to them?
First of all, when you say leave, what do you mean by leave? Did they get a refund?
Yeah,
Because the only way to leave is to get a refund.
Some of them, they have taken the refund. And to tell the truth, I do have someone who joined, somebody who is, well, I shouldn't say under me, right? She is so angry that she has been asking for her money, and they're not, we are not giving her. But so I calm her down anyway. I said, do not worry, sister. Everything will be fine. But some of them are still leaving by clicking that button, the cancel button, because they are impatient. I'm trying to find out what can we tell those who are still here to wait rather than rushing to leave? Let me say, if we give them that $102, what is their benefit? Rather than for them staying, in which they will benefit in the future. I don't know if you understand my question.
Okay, so I get you.
Thank you.
But let me clarify something first.
Yes, please.
Because I remember Dr. Soha came and introduced the name brand ambassador, right? Now, so what is the difference between a brand ambassador and a founder? One is a subset of the other. What do I mean by that? Everybody who came in before June 2022, right? Anybody that came in is a founder. Everybody. Why? Because you came in when the company was still being founded. That's why. A brand ambassador now is a founder who actively preaches ONPASSIVE, who is actually engaged and who promotes ONPASSIVE. You're an ambassador of the brand. And I can assure you, anybody who is an ambassador of the brand is not going to leave. Because why? You are that child in the kitchen. I always tell this story. If you have two children, one of them is in the kitchen cooking with you. Dr. Ben, I know you love to cook. And the other one is outside playing baseball, knowing that you started cooking and the food is going to be ready in 2 hours. When that child outside comes back in 2 hours and the food is not ready, they get upset, they storm back out, and they ask you questions like, what are you cooking? Are you cooking stone, rocks? How come it's never ready? But the child in the kitchen understands that mommy started cooking veggies. The mommy has decided to add some spaghetti. Mommy has decided to make it a 5-course meal, so it's going to take a little longer. So that child is a brand ambassador in this case. The other one is just a child. It's your child. It's a founder, but it's not a brand ambassador. It doesn't know what you're doing. Okay? So now we are talking about those children or those founders that don't understand what's going on. And they say, okay, well, let's get our $97 or 102, if you want to say 102, and get out. But guess what, though? To tell you the truth, Dr. Benny, between you and I, if you did not pay that $97 to come into ONPASSIVE, do you think you can today account for what you did with that $97 back then? That's the reality. They get that $97 today, it's not going to do anything. They're going to maybe go buy groceries, okay? Go get some maybe liquor or whatever, and that's it. Big deal. By the way, your CEO is refunding the money anyway in a few days, right? As a matter of fact, I said, especially after the event with the SEC, this is the opportunity for us to know who are the real founders. Okay? Let those ones who are not real founders, let them leave. I don't convince anybody. As a matter of fact, if somebody, well, maybe they're just scared of me because nobody has told me that they want to leave. People are scared of me for some reason. But if somebody tells me that they want to leave, I will encourage them to leave. Seriously, please leave. What are you waiting for? You want me to help you? Let me take you to your back office and cancel. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not for everybody. It's for people with heart. I tell you, I have a very close cousin of mine. Very, very close cousin of mine. I love him dearly. I brought him into IT about 30 years ago. He's making serious money because, he's making really good money. About maybe, I don't know, about a year ago, I've been trying to get him to ONPASSIVE. He wouldn't get into ONPASSIVE for whatever reason. About a year ago, he told me, brother, I'm buying a bottle of whiskey. Come, let's drink. I said, really? I said, okay, I'm coming. He went and bought a bottle of whiskey for $2,500. One bottle of whiskey. And he called another friend and me, and we're sitting and I'm looking at it. I said, are you out of your mind? Do you know how many accounts this will give you in that ONPASSIVE that I told you about? And that is future for you, your children, your children's children, and beyond. And we're going to sit here within maybe, I don't know how many hours, and we're going to empty this and it's gone. So it's not because he doesn't have money. It's because he has not been chosen by God to be part of the revolution. That's why I know it's a divine project. And those of us who are in it, we are blessed to be in it. And if you were in it by mistake because God wanted to test you and you still don't see it and you want to leave, hey, by all means, go. That's what I'll tell you. Because if you don't go, you're probably going to misuse the funds in the first place. So just go. Too bad, so sad, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's unfortunate, but it's the reality.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Papa Africa. I remember, well, this is not a question now. I remember from the beginning when you were presenting, you make us to understand that it is a viable product, viable and legitimate product. So you gave us a meaning about the viability, that it is necessary. Most of the time, I always say, you guys see the cell phone? Everyone, even the children, 8 years old, 7 years, they do have cell phone. It is necessary, which means that all our products or solutions are necessary because the financial institution, federal government, state government, education, hospital, wherever, they will need our products because God has assigned our CEO and he has hired the most talented employees to do the work for us. And again, you said that it is legitimate. Yes, I remember, and I will continue to remember. And I want to thank you, Mr. Osong, for teaching me, teaching all of us. Well, I'm bragging for me. Thank you for your help. And thank you because you are proud of, you brag a lot about this company. You show off wherever you go. And that is why our CEO loves you too much. Thank you, Papa Africa. We love you, Papa Africa. Thank you. And
Thank you. And I'm just going to add to what you said. Yes, it's a God-ordained project. And when God gives you a project, you know what he does? He aligns the people that are going to help you accomplish it without you knowing. So when he gave Ashmore that project, he aligned people like Engineer Mohammed Kamal. He aligned everybody who is helping to make it a success without him knowing. And you are one of them, Dr. Benny.
thank you, Papa Africa.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Wow.
But before I leave, Sister Debbie, please, I want the whole world to thank. I want to thank our CEO for everything that he has done. Brother Kamal, Brother Nazel, our tech brothers and sisters, Professor Susan and the O Media team. And again, I want to thank all our brand ambassadors, our founding members. We have 1.4 million, right? But we have 8 billion human on earth. Only 1.4 decided to join ONPASSIVE because I know that you guys will go out there and share the opportunity to each and everyone. Our family, they need help. The orphanage, underprivileged children, I would say St. Jude Hospital, and the rest, they need us. So thank you, Mr. Charles Osong, for coming, for accepting our invitation. In Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Sister Debbie, proceed.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Brother Charles, you see, you have touched the lives of several people and you didn't even know it. And so many of them have just testified. And the last one is Dr. Benny. Thank you. We know you will continue to do so. And how is ONPASSIVE different? I heard you talk about the Global South, how $500 a month can change your lives. And right now, with $80 a month, that they can barely make ends meet. So I agree with you. It's going to be significantly different to see how much $500 will do for the lives of people who are in the Global South, receiving that through ONPASSIVE as global ambassadors. And you rightfully say that as God created this and also provided, it's just like in the Bible where Jesus was sent to save us and he had his disciples, right? So ONPASSIVE has its disciples. And that's how the Bible is. ONPASSIVE has disciples. They don't have to be named, but we know who those disciples are, and the disciples know themselves because there's a voice that speaks to them and tell them what to do, how to do it. And just like the way the disciples were going with Jesus from one end of the universe to the other, climbing up on mountains and parting water so people can walk on it. That was the work of God. And in ONPASSIVE, we're doing that in separate ways. And our CEO believes in divine intervention and sending the right people to him as we rightfully identified. Thank you so much, Brother Charles. Tonight is just an outstanding one. And you've just opened the minds of our viewers, and we cannot say anything without having our brother engineer Mike, who made this possible today, that this 93rd session of being here with us is a very unique and special one with Papa Africa. So
may I ask my question before?
Of course.
Please. I'm ready to ask Charles a question here. It's a very difficult one.
Please proceed.
Here we go.
Listra.
I know that you've helped Africa a lot, your country and other areas and so on. Tell me, how do you feel when everyone calls you Papa Africa? How does that make you feel?
Wow, great question. I know you said it was going to be difficult, and indeed it is difficult. To tell you the truth, it just came like that. I think I remember the first time someone called me that name. I believe it was Marcien Hemambo who started that name. Just like a joke. Okay. And now when I look back, I don't think she did it by her own power. It was just divine for her to say that. Because all of a sudden, it has just picked up steam. And to me, it reflects a lot of responsibility, honestly. Because I realized all of a sudden that I have so much work to do, more than I thought at first. When I said man on a mission, I thought, okay, I'm just going to tell people about this business and they'll come in and end of story. No, it's like they want me to hold their hands every step of the way. Okay. And so because of that, I realized that my spirituality had to increase because I had to pray every day for God to show me how to handle this. And with that kind of stuff comes a lot of temptation, a lot. Right? And so I pick and choose my battles, and I let God fight my fight for me. I don't fight, I let him fight, because if you fight, God sleeps. If you let him do the fighting, you can rest. Okay? And so I just let him do the fighting for me. I let him guide me how to handle things. And, it's a lot of responsibility. But how do I feel? I feel like I have a lot of load on my head. Every time somebody says Papa Africa, it reminds me of that load. Honestly.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it just reminds me. That's what it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's great.
I also know that God will not give you responsibility without giving you a way to handle it. He will make sure you can handle it.
Absolutely.
And
great answer. Great
answer.
answer. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Because, I think about it all the time. A name like that on you, it gives you so much more responsibility, right? You feel responsible for everyone and just about everything. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to everyone call you that while I call you Charles. I am from, the Western world. So I am thinking about that. And I know that Africans use all these as a form of respect. I don't disrespect you or my brother Mike over there that I just call Mike, right? It's just me. And I mean, no disrespect. Yes, Mike, I know you love that. Yeah. But I sat here listening to everyone and I was wondering just how that made you feel, in the sense of everything that you need to do or you feel that you need to do. Great answer. Thank you very much. Also, I was wondering, in reference to O Connect, I know a lot of businesses and so on will be using it because it's an amazing platform. I also know that in a lot of the countries, say like Africa and India and so on, a lot of the average Joe, like we will be using it as founders and so on. But a lot of the average Joe won't be able to do that. Probably, because of finances or connection issues and so on. Will that in any way not help to bring O Connect like where it should be in areas like that? Do you understand what I'm asking?
I think I do. What I'm going to say is this. Look at Zoom today, because that's the top of the market, right? In that space, the video conferencing space. Mm-hmm. Today, Zoom is at the top.
Right.
And Zoom is everywhere. Won't you say?
I guess so.
But O Connect is about
to be there. A lot of people don't really know Zoom.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But sooner or later, right? And the reason why a lot of people don't know Zoom, the main reason, especially in that part of the world, is because of the resources, the network, the internet service. Right? So as time goes on, that those network issues are being solved. O Connect, of course, already, is way cheaper than Zoom. So more and more people are going to be able to afford it, right? True, Zoom has, O Connect has a free service of 2 weeks, right? Right now. Remember, when Ash says he wants to focus on the founders for the next 3 months. Okay, that's what he says. Mm-hmm. So right now, we have a free thing for 2 weeks only, and you have 300 participants. Zoom's free stuff, for example, is 100 participants. It's 40 minutes, but it's forever. Okay? So you can go to Zoom, get a 40-minute free this thing until whenever you decide to upgrade. Remember, Ash said after 3 months, O Connect is going to have several packages. Small, big, different packages. And we're going to be able to choose to pay for 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, the longer you pay, the less it's gonna be. You have some savings.
Right.
So I know he hasn't told me that, but I know that obviously in those different packages, we're gonna have some that will be even cheaper than the $20 that Zoom has. Okay? Once we have that with all the features that we have and all those things, game is over. It's game over.
Right.
So watch out for that. We are coming.
Thank you. And this is the very first time that I have met you and spoken to you as well. So I thank you for being here, for your time. We appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
No problem. And I appreciate you guys, right? So I feel the love, honestly. I really feel the love. And that's one of the things that gets me going. You know what I mean? So
Wow. Thank you, Brother Charles. Thank you, Sister Listra. We're going to say, Brother Charles, give us your unconditional love, which we are giving you.
You got it. You have it. You got it.
Thank you so much. Brother Michael has been giving us that unconditional love. Rain or shine, he just smiles with each and every one of us. Engineer Mike, I was supposed to call on him. I see his lips moving. I don't know if he's listening to us. What?
I hope he's not going to ask me a question.
Well, good evening, everybody. Again, I mean, oh, what a day. Oh, boy. It's so fulfilling to see somebody who have the love for ONPASSIVE come here to talk to us. I'm so delighted, big bro. Thank you for accepting our invitation to come here to us. In all, what you've said, I want to bring it down to everybody to really understand what you were saying, telling us how different ONPASSIVE is. You started by telling us no recruitment, which everything is automated. Traffic generation, we have the best. Our CEO has the best algorithms for traffic generation online. No auto shipment. Everything is clean in your back office. Whatever commission you'll be having will be in your non-withdrawable wallet to fund your bills monthly. That is awesome. We have viable products which are very legitimate. Those 3 points, right? If you want to talk about them, I remember when you used to be in your webinars, you could talk about that just for 3 hours, right? 2 hours, just going and going and going. So it boils down to the summary is how different ONPASSIVE is. That is what I can say from what you just told us and for what we know. I also thank God for this day because, I mean, I'm hearing something which is, I can resonate with it. You told us that divinity is what has been giving you the courage and the wisdom to rule people, it's not everybody who will come all the time and tell, oh, wow, I got inspiration from this. Now, we have a lot of work to do, like you say. I want to thank every participant here, or every panelist for the questions you people asked were so brilliant. Okay, so brilliant. Start with Sister Jennifer, Mama Ivy, go to Dr. Bridget, what she asked. Wow, Dr. Bridget. Then call my sister Listra, Jennifer. Wow. And Dr. Benny herself. So I want to link this to something. What I'm trying to say now is, when I got to ONPASSIVE, it is your video, Michael Ellis's video, Red Reference video, Marty DeGamo's video that I could see in the back office. Those were the videos available. And that is how I took my time to learn up to where I am today. Now, oh, sorry, Jeffrey Morlock's video as well. Jeffrey Morlock's video was there as well. Now, when I decided, I say, oh no, let me go to some webinars. And I come at that time that there was no patient with you, you said. So, and I 2 of them or 3 of them, I didn't get it well. It was not very good. That is when I found my friend, Dr. Benny. So that was a good thing. I could get a friend, Dr. Benny, and I still follow you people, go to your webinars, still learn until where I am today. I am even able to bring the concept to people to understand what it is, the marketing aspect of it, the technical aspect of it. I really want to thank you people because I mean, like I said again, I want to thank God for giving you that inspiration and that that wisdom to be able to come out to us now in a different way. I really appreciate that. It's a big thing. You know what? So people don't really always accept their fault, right? Oh, they want to always play the guilty game. Oh, this happened. No, but coming out here telling us that, oh, wow, you're working on your character, your attitude, and all of that, which is what all of us are supposed to do, is very important. It's very important to all of us to know that we have these leaders who have this ability that we can tie on them, lean on them for support. Then they are also seeing us in a different light. That makes a lot of sense. So then again, we have a very big job, like you said, that Listra asks you a question. Are you saying you feel very obliged for a lot of things that you have to do, and you are happy now that there are so many other leaders who have come up that can join you in the parade, so that we can help the global South, most and South America and Southeast Asia. Those are the places that OBLES will really function. I just want to say thank you, because I mean, if I joined ONPASSIVE and I did listen to all of you people who were there already, I'm not sure people would have been knowing me, or people would have known me for what I am. I also have my own small followers. I see somebody will tell me, oh, I was following you. I say, oh, now I'm Papa Africa. I used to follow Papa Africa, follow the other people are following. It's something very great to and accomplish, to see that, I mean, we learn from you people and we are able to impact other people. That makes a lot of sense. So together, all of us as a coalition, as a union, as a movement, we can go further. I also like and I love the fact that you said something here, that this movement is divinity, that this movement is from the benevolence of our hearts. Because if you don't have it, right, you never, if you don't want to give, you are not that giver or lover, you will not be able, okay, to be in this movement. That is the truth. Because we have a game, which is the mindset game. All of us, I'm so happy that today I'm able to, everything I want to talk about is about sharing. Every other person want to talk, everything in ONPASSIVE is about sharing. Everybody want to share. Before, that was not the mentality. Come join and make something for yourself, your family, and that's it. But now, just the years that I've been in ONPASSIVE since November 17, 2020 till now. It's a lot to me. I've learned from you people. I've learned from the CEO, and we want to just thank him for bringing this platform to us. And I don't want to go so very emotional again, Mama Debbie. I hand it over to you. Maybe you give Papa Africa to close us, please. I'm getting emotional. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer Mike. You sum it all. And yes, with that historical aspect of you and all the, you had a foundation that you learned from. And without that foundation, you wouldn't be where you are. And one of them is our brother here. He should be in his bed with the time difference, because it's but he's here with us, still sharing. That's dedication. You either have it or you don't. And we hope that our viewers tonight, we hope you understand that ONPASSIVE is like a give and take from each and every one of us. You don't have something that you don't give. You give, it will come back to you tenfold. When you dedicate your time in bringing up a child that you've been blessed with, when that child succeeds, they come back to you and say, thank you. This is where we're heading now, to start thanking those who brought us into ONPASSIVE, thanking those leaders who were there that made us learn from the initial vision by sharing, as Engineer Mike said, by sharing their ideas. We say thank you. And we also will end up by thanking our CEO, who did not hoard the idea to himself. The vision kept telling him to share, and he shared to those who bought into it. And then we are part of it, the 1.4 million of us. And we finally say thank you, Engineer Mike, for giving us this 93rd session. And thank you, Papa Africa. We appreciate you. You always say yes. When you're called, we wake you up at 6 a.m., you say yes, and you show up. 10 p.m., you say yes, and you miss your sleep. This is time you show up. That's dedication. That voice is still speaking to you, and you're here with us. You have touched so many lives. There's so many people on the panel and on the chat who have never been able to talk to you, but you have made it possible today. We appreciate you being with us. We thank you. And if you have any final words, please, this is the time to say your final words so we can thank and say goodbye to our viewers for today, and tell our viewers that we look forward to seeing you every Monday and every Thursday with Engineer Mike on this channel. He's always full of surprises, so you don't know who is coming and when. I knew this morning that our brother was going to show up, and here he is. And most of us, we didn't know that. So, Papa Africa, the final word is yours before we end the session for the night. Over to you, Papa Africa. Thank you, Engineer Mike.
Thank you all, Engineer Mike. Great job putting this together so that people can be informed every week, once a week, I believe it is. And I just want to say, guys, we've come this far, especially Dr. Benny said some people are trying to leave. Don't leave. If you can, hang in there, because you want to be part of a revolution, right? This is once in a lifetime opportunity. Ash, our CEO, has always said, you were not just born to come to earth, live until you die, work until you die. Try and leave a legacy, right? And we have been blessed, we have been chosen to be part of this movement. We've been chosen to be able to leave a legacy. Let's join hands, okay? Let's work together and make this happen. I mean, it feels great to be remembered in history as one of the people that made the world a better place, don't you think? So we have that opportunity. Let's go for it. Let's work together. And the game is just about to get started. So far, we have been warming up, right? The game is about to get started, and you want to quit? Come on now.
Yeah.
So hang in there together. We are going to win it, and we're all going to meet at the top, be very, very happy, smiling, partying at the top. Okay? That's what I can say for you guys. Keep your eyes and ears open for this following week, these few days coming. Things are about to take a different level. Okay? Yeah.
Outstanding. So we are in it to win it.
In it to win it.
So in it to win it.
We are so
It's already won, guys. It's already won. The game is